Hello everybody and welcome back to what is part 2 of the Bape special. And if you haven't seen the previous video yet, it will be in the link below, and we checked out this awesome skyline by Liberty Walk, and we also checked out this crazy looking Aventador once again by Liberty Walk, and we also had a good look at our little bare brick friend over there. And of course I mentioned to you last time that I've got another very special car to show you, and it is not a Liberty Walk car however, but it is a Bape special, and it's just a very recent release. So what I have for you today is of course the Honda NSX GT3 EVO 22, and this one is made by PopRace, and once again it's a Bape collaboration, so stay tuned for this one. So let's check out this presentation box straight away. You can see it's got this very cool Bape livery going throughout the entire car, and then of course we've got the PopRace NSX GT3 EVO 22, and we've got these very funky little like Bape style things all over, these like distorted monkey faces and stuff like that. And then on the front here we've got a really nice kind of line art graphic. It also says a bathing ape, once again NSX, race world now. And then the side is just blank, the back is the same, and once again. And then of course on the bottom we've got a little bit of information, and of course it is an officially licensed product by Honda as well as Bape. So this car recently just came out, and it cost around about £60 or so at the moment, although these Bape cars tend to go up quite a lot in price. There was also another previous Bape and PopRace collaboration not too long ago, and that was actually an Aston Martin like GT3 style race car as well. And I don't have one of those, but I do have another car which is that same car, although this one is the Evangelion livery, so I thought I'd just show you what that car actually looks like. So it's got a really beautiful molding and extremely exquisite detailing on this car, but I will be doing a thorough and proper review of this car later on, so stay tuned for that one sometime in the coming months as well. But let's get back to the Honda. As you can see, this model opens from the bottom, so I've just kind of cut this cover open, and you can just sort of slide it out there. Of course, I've never seen this car. As you can see, I'm opening for the first time, so the box looks really cool, even on the inside. This is going to be a big surprise for me as well, and wow, I love the color on that. My goodness, that looks incredible. Wow, that KCMG logo really pops on the rear as well there. Let's get the car out of here. Oh my word, that is super nice. Oh my goodness, that is very cool. And even on this acrylic cover, it's got this little Bape, a bathing ape logo over there. And if you want to know a little bit more history about the collaboration of these cars and the colors, then once again just check out the first video where I explain about that a little bit. But my goodness, I really like the look of this car, and even the presentation. We've just got this very clear acrylic box, and wow, oh my word, I'm very happy with this. Let's actually check this out. This is very cool and very exciting. It's got these little tab things, and I've just taken them off slightly bit. There you go, check that out. My word, this is so cool. Wow, I love the look of this car. This is very beautiful. Of course, we've got the Honda NSX here. So this one is the GT3 EVO 22, and it's made, obviously it's a full-out race car for GT3, and this has like a 3.5 liter V6 as well. That's a super nice looking car. Of course, this collaboration with Bape was all about showcasing this car as well. So this NSX actually ran in the Super Taiyuku series in 2023 with KCMG. So that's what they're showcasing in this car over here. And I must say, what a beauty this is. But let's start off with this base first of all. There's no branding or limited edition number or anything like that to begin with, but what we have is this very subtle Bape kind of texture over here, finished in this like milky kind of look to it. It's like a smoked look almost. So I think obviously the plastic's been like burred up there or something like that. It's or like etched or something. It's such a cool design. I've never seen anything like that. They've done such a nice little job with that. And of course, looking at the car itself, we've got this incredible livery, and it's very thorough in terms of the detail work. And if we look at the actual finish, it's got quite a smooth sort of finish to it. It does have a tiny bit of texture in the paint, although this has been evident in every single one of these cars featuring one of these liveries. So with the way the liveries are installed on the car, it's kind of thick and you get this like little bit of a texture sort of popping through. But let's jump into the details of this insane NSX. So starting off with the roof, like we did last time, we've got this very nice bit of Japanese writing that says 30th anniversary. And then we also have some small KCMG logos and some extremely minuscule writing underneath that, something international perhaps or something like that. It's very tough to tell. It's extremely far away and very small. Let's have a look. Motorsport, possibly something limited. KC Motorsport Limited, I imagine. And then just underneath there we've got this NEOS logo, another KCMG, and then heading a bit actually on the A pillar as well. You can see that it does have a little bit of writing there as well. Looks like a website for KCMG. And then heading down into this insane looking front, you can see we've got this really deeply recessed air channel, like I suppose it's the radiator that's in there. That's what it looks like to me. And that's a 3D texture nicely embedded there, very, very deep inside there. And then of course we've got some more detailing, more KCMG logos, more 30th anniversary. So that's 30 years of Bape. You can see it's got a 3 and the 0 is actually the head of the monkey. That's very cool. And then we've got this little Honda logo, the bonnet, or I suppose frunk opening latches there as well. And then we've got some air vents as well, which are all modeled, and it looks really, really well done. And now we get to these really cool looking front lights over here, and you can see it's got this sort of yellow tinge to it, and it almost looks like it's segmented, almost like made up of little squares or something like that. And I think that's a very cool looking style for the car, and it actually looks extremely menacing as well. And with this front intake at such an extreme angle, it's a very crazy looking car actually. And of course you can see it's also got a little bit of a grille in there, which is 3D, and of course some grille in the inlets on the side. And then we've also got this front splitter highlighted in this nice little white edge. And then coming to the side, we've got some canards and a little bit of writing there. It's got like H. And now heading to the front side here, we've got this little air channel outlets above the front wheels as well. And we come to these really nice looking front wheels finished off in this black satin, not satin, maybe more glossy than satin sort of color. And of course we've got these highlighted spokes as well, which is a really nice touch. Of course these race cars feature that most commonly. And we've got these really beautiful Bridgestone tires. It says Potenza, and we've even got little Bridgestone logos in there as well. So you can see behind the wheels, it just seems to be a black component, but I don't actually see any brake rotors in there at all. That's a little bit of a shame. I kind of expected to see some kind of brakes, especially from a company like PopRace. They are extremely well known for their insane details. And now heading to the side of the car. So we've got some really intriguing writing on this car. It's kind of heavy on the graphics. Of course, race cars tend to be. So we've got Honda, we've got more KCMG logos, and this is number 202 in the race number. And of course, driver development project, a bathing ape. And even on the bottom, we've got quite a lot of nice little details. Some more KCMG, NSX GT3 over 22, and even a little PopRace logo. Heading to the rear section over here, we've got the back wheel, and it's very similar to the front one in terms of design, but as you can see, the highlighted spokes are in red this time, and even the center hub is highlighted in red. So that's a really nice little touch that they've got over there. And then we've got some more logos in the back here. There it's got a Go something something, and then once again it's got this H style logo. Now I wonder if that's a part of Bape. And then you can see this Bape livery continuing through. And if we head back here a little bit, you can see that it's also got the air channel or air inlet, I suppose, for the engine, which is of course in the rear of the vehicle. However, it's not a 3D cutout element. What it is actually just some kind of a printed sticker on the intake. And actually you can see that it doesn't go all the way up to the window. I'm not really sure if it's supposed to, but it might be the case. And the black kind of droops around the edge a tiny bit, but completely not noticeable from any sort of angle, only from here. But I mean, you're not gonna even see that ever, pretty much. So got this very nice looking wing that also just says KCMG, and I really like the way it looks. It's very striking, especially with this black contrast, and then you've got this heavy Bape camo hitting you in the face pretty much with this KCMG logo, and it looks extremely striking. And it's even got these two stripes on the edge of the wing, and I think that looks so cool. And of course we come to the rear of the car. So once again, the KCMG logo is really predominant all over this car. Once again, you can see it, it's just on the left there, then the Honda logo, NSX GT, and then we've got the race number 202 and STX. And then we've even got the center brake light over there, or fog lights, I suppose. And then we've got the two little exhausts. It's just finished off in black, nothing extremely peculiar or crazy looking. And then we've also got some little cutouts over here, although you can see that you can't actually see all the way through to the tires, which I'm pretty sure in the real car you would be able to. But of course, modeling this for such a small car might not be so easy, but it would have been nice to just get a view of the rear wheels through that little window. And then we've also got some air outlets coming from the engine bay in the rear. We've also got this huge diffuser, once again finished off with this white edge, kind of similarly to the front splitter. And I must say, this car looks extremely menacing. Of course, race cars tend to do that. And then once again we come to the opposite side, and we've got pretty much the identical logos carrying through this race livery on the car. And I just want to see if it's actually exactly identical. It's not exactly identical, to be honest. So actually this livery is a continuous one, so it's not mirrored on both sides, and that's a really nice touch because you can get a different look and feel of the car from both the sides. This one looks a lot more like light green, kind of like foresty, I suppose. And this side looks a little bit heavier and a little bit darker, perhaps, I suppose you could say. But overall, I think it's a really cool looking car, and they've done a really excellent job. But let's get it off this plinth, actually. So now that it's off the plinth, you can actually see that the wheels rotate quite well, and I really love the look it gives of these rims spinning around with that highlighted edge. It's very insane and really reflective of the race car itself. So you can see how the colors just kind of mix up like that, and even the edge of the tires, how cool that looks. Give it a bit of a wow. Sorry, getting sidetracked, but that's absolutely mesmerizing, and you can see that the car has quite a nice bit of roll, and it looks so nice and dynamic with the wheels painted like that. I think it gives it an extremely race car look. And then underneath it just says PopRace, but we do actually have some air channels running around the edge of the car, so there was some attention paid to these areas, and that's very nice to see. And of course we've got this very organic looking rear diffuser as well. It's really quite beautiful actually. And then underneath the wing there it says KCMG once again, and finally we can see that it says KG Motor Group Limited, which is of course what it must have said on that extremely tiny lettering, which we were not able to read just a little bit earlier. And now I can also reveal to you that this car actually has a little hidden feature which I did not really discover until now, to be honest. You can see it's got a clear piece of tape sort of over the back here, so I imagine this can only mean one thing, and what it means is that we've actually got an openable engine bay. So, wow, okay. Okay, well, that was unexpected. I don't really know how to, ooh, there you go. Oh my word. Okay, well, I didn't know about this detail. So we've got this really beautiful little engine cover over here. And then you can see once again it says a bathing ape over there, and even these middle sections have some cutouts going all the way through, and that is an extremely wonderful piece of kit over there. And now we can finally reveal the engine of this car. My goodness, it's really cool. I'm really happy with the way this looks. I was not even expecting that it had a removable engine. Just shows sometimes I purchase models a little bit too fast without even knowing what I'm gonna be buying. But of course we've got this race derived engine in here, and you can see it's got this really cool cross brace too, and I think it looks incredible. From this angle we can even see that it's got the little air inlet channels which would run to the intakes, the radiators, as well as the intercoolers. Of course this car, as I mentioned before, has a race derived engine which is a 3.5 liter V6. So you can see it's got little 6 little edges over there as well. And it's also got like a lightweight chassis, of course, and it's got a sequential 6-speed gearbox to go with the car. Of course, unfortunately cannot be seen there at all, and it's pretty much capable of producing around 520 something like that horsepower, and you can see the amount of detailing that's actually gone into this car. And of course you can't see into the cockpit in the front, or I suppose the driver's area, because it's completely blocked off by this really thick firewall. And we've got this really nice engine cross brace, and we've got a nice little, it's almost like a carbon fiber texture on this intake section. It's really well crafted, and I'm extremely happy that it's here. I totally didn't even realize it had an engine that was capable of opening. So an extra bit of detail added for this car. And of course, while we're at the details, we can also look at the interior briefly. So it looks pretty simplistic, but it is of course true to the NSX, and you can see that it's got a pretty straightforward looking dashboard. Of course, race cars tend to be stripped out and not much is visible, but what you can see is it's got this massive support for the driver's head, and it only has one seat as well. So of course, with it being a race car, that is the case. And we've also got a really heavy roll cage that actually bends around the A-pillar here, and it's quite exquisitely done, I must say. It looks very nice. I've decided to grab a torch quick just to see if we can see anything on the interior, and you can see that it does have the one race seat in there, and the other side just has a sort of flat finish, and you can see it looks like it might even be some kind of like maybe a fuel tank in there, or I don't know, something maybe along those lines. And there's not really much in the back. Of course, it's a stripped out car. It's extremely dark and very hard to see inside there. If I highlight it from the other edge, you can see quite a lot more actually. And there you can see it's got a little steering wheel, and it's got a pretty stripped out looking center. I can't see if there's much of a console or gauges or anything of that kind, but nonetheless it does look to have a race car steering wheel in there, so that's really nicely modeled, and that's about as much as you can possibly see from other outside anyway. And once again, of course, it's got those huge headrests as well for, of course, the helmet to fit. So very nice detail on the interior of this car as well. So finally we see the car in a more dynamic situation with a little bit of extra light as well, and you can just see how crisp the lines are on this car and how beautifully the light lines reflect off it, and how nice the surfaces look on this car in general. Of course, I'm extremely happy that we have another awesome Bape car that we could get. Of course, with the mini GTs being so out of reach for, you know, everyday people, they cost like usually 100 and something pounds per car. Of course, there's this pack that was released a year ago that's like over $1,000. It's extremely crazy, so it's great to be able to have these achievable models. And these cars do tend to go up in price, so currently they are sitting at around 60-ish pounds, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be increasing in price with their popularity going up, and also it's quite a limited number model as well. And of course, the Aston Martin release, which was just a few years ago, has also gone up quite a lot in price. I kind of wish I had got one of those, but it is what it is. Maybe one day though. But I really like this this car, this livery. It's very funky, and I just love the setup of this car. And finally, we've got all three cars in this amazing trio lined up as they should be. It looks really awesome and a little bit bizarre at the same time. It's something from like some crazy kind of military base or something like that. But I'm really happy with all of these cars and the way they look with this insane camo livery and all the writing and all the little details, and how true they stay to their real counterparts was really impressive. I mean, all the different brands. We have Star Model, we have PopRace, and even Street Weapon, and they show a little bit of, you know, lots of different details and how true they stay to the real car. The engines, of course, all the little details on the outlets and everything. It's really impressive, and I'm so happy that all these brands have decided to bless us with all these really cool and striking looking cars. And I'm really hoping that we will see more in the future. Hopefully there will be an R35. That would be my wish, to be able to get one of those. And of course, a nice Hurricane by Liberty Walk would be another brilliant add, I think, to this lineup. But let me know which one of these cars is your favorite out of the three, and also what cars you would like to see in this Bape livery. And thank you everybody for your time, and thank you so much for watching. and for sticking it out this long with me. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. And that was the Bape special. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. Ciao.